Hey there, friend. It's Stefanie Krievins, founder of the Pro Troublemaker Nation. And today I have with us Andre, who we got to work together earlier this year through some executive coaching. And I am unbelievably proud of the progress that Andre made through our coaching relationship. And so I wanted to give you an idea of what it's like to work with me, what to expect from coaching through Andre's lens and his experience. So thanks for being here, Andre.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, what were
Mm.
you like as a leader before we started working together?
A complete hot mess. Um, I was a leader who really was still trying to figure out who they were as a person or how they needed to come to work. I struggled in areas with like time management, um, effectively managing engagements. I work in an accounting firm and we have a lot of engagements. We have a lot of different team members on the engagements, and they're all a little bit unique. And so you have to manage or have a lot of spinning plates. So time management was a big thing, and then effectively manage the engagement. So my way of doing things or the way I learned was not often how you needed to manage the engagement. So I think I struggled in some areas that really needed some cleanup and some assistance. And Stephanie was able to, through coaching over a few months, was able to help me with those things I needed to get better at.
Yes. So, Andre is a director. He's on the partner track at a one of the top 10 largest accounting firms actually in the country. And so he's a rock star and he's rising fast in the
Hmm.
firm. And some of the things that we talked about in our work together was the way that he learned from older generations is kind of drinking by the fire hose, get trained, go as fast as you can. He found that it just wasn't working. It wasn't working when he was training his millennials and the staff coming up before him, and it wasn't working for him as a leader. How would you describe our working relationship, Andre, and the time that we spent together?
I was a little nervous at first, but you really put me at ease. You're really personable, and you really tried to get to know me.
Mm,
How did I think? How did I? What were my values? What were things that were important to me before we even started? That was just like the foundation. And then as you got to know me, got to know sort of what were my things that were important to me, we were able to take off from there and then try to address or try to take my values that were important to me and then address the issues that I was dealing with as a manager. So it was very relationship, oriented, very casual in ways. Well, there was one time that it wasn't, and you kind of threw me off balance, which was good, challenged me.
challenge
It was
builder.
always challenged all the way through, but I think it was basically you got to know me and then try to build that foundation. So um, I really enjoyed the journey.
Mm, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I care so much
Mm,
about you and your success. And I
mm,
know the pressure to be the kind of leader that maybe you see around you is pretty high, especially in
mm,
consulting firms. But
yeah,
to me, I my clients see the most success when they're able to embrace their own authentic leadership style, bring
mm,
out their own values to work, because that's
mm,
what helps you shine in the long term. And definitely saw that come into play for you. What
yeah.
was the most unexpected thing that you took away from our coaching?
I would say the one time that you challenged me, I wasn't expecting that. We had I think a couple of sessions at that point, and they were going pretty well. You gave me a lot of homework, things to think about, read, process,
Yes.
and I think it was in our third session, if I'm correct, that you just kind of flipped a script and you really just um, was just came at me from a different perspective, and really challenged me. And you were like, I care, but I need to also challenge you because we need to see results, and what are those results going to be? And I appreciated that because sometimes you got to change it up a little bit just to see where folks are and what they're thinking about, and have they really done the homework? Have they really thought about it, or are they just giving you answers? So that was the one thing that I was not expecting.
All done with love. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I
Mm,
find. So many
mm,
overachievers and
mm,
high achievers, and I'm in this camp. We
mm.
haven't been challenged enough to really like question some of the BS that we tell ourselves and others sometimes. Um,
Yes. Right.
right? I mean, we can
Yeah,
say
yeah.
all the right things and we do a
Mm,
lot of the right things, but if
mm.
it's not producing the right results, we got to switch it up. And so
Right.
sometimes that challenge helps kind of
Mhm.
recalibrate what you're thinking about, what's important,
Oh, yes.
and really step up your game.
Yeah, I think I kind of came into it thinking, well, I'd done my homework, I feel like I'm making progress. And then it was like, I was, thinking it was going to be, just a kind of a casual afternoon, and it went much differently. And I think I was a little bit shocked at first, but at the end of the day, I feel like it produced results, and kind of um, just kind of be on your toes because I didn't know when the next one may come. So just had to be prepared for it.
Gotta
So
be ready. That's right.
yeah, yeah.
So, what were those
Mm.
results that you saw from coaching?
The, the biggest results that I saw is that my values are really, really important. Don't ever not come with your authentic self, but you have to focus it and channel it in the right way that is going to produce results. The other thing was the responsibility you have to other team members. I always thought that I had responsibility to myself, to the other partners, to the client, but I never really focused on the responsibility to the team members who are actually doing a lot of the work because they want to learn and grow. And it's my responsibility to help them learn and grow, but I have to do it in the right way, but also make it unique and authentic to myself. So I think those are some of the biggest things that I learned, along with protecting your calendar. I like to have a team approach and be able to be available to people, but you got to do it in the right way, because if you get off course, then that means something else is going to fall that's really important. So I think those are my big takeaways from coaching.
Yeah, that makes great sense. Yeah, and I mean, I saw you do that. Accept the
Mm,
responsibility of being a
mm,
leader to those
mm,
that come after you, because you
mm,
can't progress if you don't have someone to fill your shoes as you work your way up in the company. If no
mm.
one can come behind you and fill in your shoes, you don't get to go anywhere. And that does a disservice to your clients, to the world, to the company, and to your team. And you
Exactly.
really stepped up to the challenge. What are you
Right.
most proud of now about your leadership style?
I would say that people actually recognize that the changes that I made, and I was also intentional about telling them that I was working on things that I thought I needed to get better, and actually actively ask them, are there things that you need from me that that I can give to you to make your work experience better for you to learn and grow. I think I know seeing people actively acknowledge that and say, I can definitely see it. I can see the strides that you're making. It is probably one of the biggest benefits. And that I feel more empowered, and I feel better about coming to work and knowing where my values are. Still working all the time, but knowing where my values are, bringing them, and people recognizing it, and knowing that you're actively trying to make changes.
Yes, yes. I mean, to me, that's the
Yeah.
most important part of
Mm,
coaching, is that those around you see your
mm.
behavior change, because that's what it's about. It can't be
Right.
all about intent and
Mhm.
internal belief system. We have to be able to carry that out with others. And I know certainly when we were talking with your boss and he said that he saw your new leadership presence come alive. Oh, made my little heart so happy. I mean, you just did amazing work in our time together.
Yeah. Yes.
Not
And,
that
and
you need me to be proud of you, but
yeah,
I'm very proud of you.
right. And it wasn't rocket science. It was very basic and just I understand why you may feel that way or think that way, but let's look at it in a different perspective because of, these three or four other things that I think you need to bring to the table or should address. So, um, all very valuable. Um, can't say enough. I think about it probably every day
Oh,
about one thing that I learned from coaching that I can bring, or the right attitude, the right behaviors, the right thought process. There's not a day that goes by that I don't at least reference back to something I learned
oh,
through coaching.
fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. So it stayed with you this whole time.
It has.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So what's next level leadership for you, Andre?
Next level leadership for me is being able to address a lot of the same things I see in other rising stars, knowing that the things that I've gone through, the challenges, and seeing it and being able to address it and help those others, because we're a collaborative team. We all have to hold each other accountable, and so seeing those things and imparting some of the knowledge that I learned and taking it to the next level. So as other people learn and grow and learn the right ways of doing it, we all become better and just keep that going. Because when you're a consultant, every day is different. There's always new challenges, and you always got to be tuned into what's going on and addressing things because they can quickly slip and cause other issues. So just taking it to the next level and helping other people grow
Yeah.
in their careers.
Oh, fantastic. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again for sharing your experience, for allowing me to be your coach during this amazing time in your career. And I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank